today we continue with our laws of Shabbos. Today is class number 55, and we start with Sefer Chofetz Chaim. And the big topic is the same for the subject benefit. And today's topic is avoiding flattery. That's a big one in our generation, avoiding flattery, right? Even where it is permissible to speak negatively for a constructive purpose, one must avoid insincere flattery. It is forbidden to be critical of someone when he's not present, yet demonstrate approval of his behavior in his presence. That's a hypocrite, basically. Right? If the concern is that the person's feelings are not heard, then the solution is to express respect and concern for him as a person, but clear disapproval of his behavior. So basically, that's what we discussed with Not Shoma Shabbos. Right? He donated a lot of money. You say thank you. Right? You cannot be ungrateful. But on the same way, don't make a big deal out of it. So don't make him a savior. Basically, our shul would be closed without you. Our is not going to survive without you, Mr. Rich Guy. Right? So continue. If one is certain, then reproof will not will be ignored. Reproof will be ignored, and is therefore prepared to publicize the personal behavior as attempt to induce him to change his ways. One must nevertheless approach the sinner first, so as not to be suspected of insincerity. So, as we said before, the best thing is to try to resolve things in a peaceful manner and just talk to a person, right? Maybe he's going to change. Maybe he's going to admit, right? Go ahead.
Question. So, what's it called? I saw this one rabbi, and so he does a lot of Kiruv, and with the boys, right? Those who didn't study Torah didn't do nothing. He was telling them, what's it called? I don't know. Maybe it's to inspire, not because I want to ask you if it's flattery. He was telling them, you can open up a yeshiva, become a Rosh Yeshiva, so on and so, all this stuff. You can have your picture on the wall, and so, what's it called? So does this count as flattery or no?
I don't think it's not the flattery. It's like an option, right? So you have this option for you available. Understand? So it's acknowledgement of potential. So if he would say, "Oh, you're such, because of you we have all of these things," it's like, what are you talking about? But unfortunately, that's what people like, especially the person who wants to be community rabbi, some community leader. It's like mission impossible. I think. I mean, unless you're very honest and you have bitachon that HaShem is running the world, not just in speech, right? But in words, it's very hard. So, like I went to one show, and they, after Sandy, right? It was Hurricane Sandy. I don't know, 10 years ago, whatever, how many years ago, and it's the show was flooded, died, right? Completely, right? So they built from the ground up, basically, completely beautiful show. So I asked this rabbi, so where are these people from the wall? So on the wall they had in a golden letters all of these names, this name and that name. So basically, I think the way I understood, all of these people donated $100,000 each. So it was major renewal, like unbelievable. They did an amazing job. We don't take it from them, but all of them not Shoma Shabbos. So, and you know what he told me? They're going to order it. If you come here for Purim, they're going to come. So all of the big donors are going to come for him on Purim, and he's going to bless them and say, because of you, my dear Mr. Rosenberg, we have this beautiful show. Look at this Aaron Kodesh. Jews come. Jews have a place to eat, a place to pray. Right? You understand? So that's a big problem. So it's flattery, of course. Okay, continue. In the case above, where it is clear that the person will not be moved by rebuke, one can remove the need to first speaking to him by dispelling any possible suspicious concern, one's own sincerity. So meaning if he's angry individual, he looks at you, he's ready to smack you basically. Like, okay, so stay away, right? For example, if one speaks against a perpetrator in public, in the presence of three, rather than speaking to the individual members of the community in private, it becomes clear that all the speaker could not be attempting to gain favor in the perpetrator by showing acceptance of his behavior. Similarly, if the speaker is known to be zealous and outspoken and would not be suspected of flattery, okay, he could resort to private discussions. Also, it is clear to all that the perpetrator is difficult personality, and publicly criticizing his behavior could be dangerous. Then one may speak against him in private without fear of personal suspicion. So, meaning, like if you try to, usually people they react very violently, like when you rebuke him in public, but in private, very nice. In private, almost everybody is nice. I don't know why. They're trying to be, at least. Okay.
Question.
Yeah.
What's it called? So when because you said over here, for example, with this rabbi who got $100,000 stuck from these people. So, but you also told me before, with some people, you have to get them some schus, right? To do some mitzvahs, right? So if the only way these people are going to do any mitzvahs at all is if you flatter them, is it allowed or no? Because these people might have done nothing, never kept Shabbos, and so on and so forth. So maybe it's okay to flatter them so that they give tzedakah, or is it not?
It's not flattery. So I mean, you see, it is absolutely permissible and encouraged to give compliment to a person, even to tell him more, right? So he would be encouraged to do more. I said it's not flattery. That's a way of chinuch. It's a way of bringing somebody. That's normal.
So
you understand? But it has to come, like, for example, you have a child and you say, oh, you Moshe do such a great job and stuff like that in school. Okay, he got only 71, right? Okay, you say, and he said, oh, and this Moshe said, oh, my father think that's good. You know what? I can do even better. I'm going to study and prove everybody that I can do even better, and you can buy an ice cream and this and that. You understand? But at one point, you have to like a rebuke. Moshe, come on. You study exactly 3.5 minutes. You got 70. You can study if you study half an hour. Maybe you can do better. So at one point, this encouragement, if you see that the guy or girl does not get the point, so I mean these compliments do not work. So you have to step up with your game. You cannot. This conversation was I don't know, maybe 5 or 7 years after the descent. I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years, whatever how many years. It was several years, and these people would only come for Purim party. You understand? So and this rabbi, and he treated them like them Moshe Rabbeinu, see them on the table, and they laugh and giggle. I mean, how can you laugh? These people are going to Gehenna. The way I see it, even if they understood that they could have take this $100,000, invest this business, that I don't know, whatever. There are many things that you, especially 10 years ago, whatever, how many years ago you could have done with this 100,000. Like, can buy apartment, basically. I don't know, like co-op apartment, rent it to somebody. I don't know. You can invest many things, but what they choose invest in a synagogue. So and then they say it's not that they don't see it as investment. They see that it is a worthy cause for them to spend so much money. Of course, they got the names on the plaques on the wall with a big golden letters. It's but basically they never there, so nobody knows who they are basically, right? If it's Mr. Rosenberg's younger brother and he's sitting there, this is you? No, he's my brother. So he gets in some enjoyment. But otherwise, I've never seen these people. So yeah. So how can you laugh? How can you drink l'chaim with these people when you know for sure they're going to Gehenna? Guaranteed. So okay, so they say, no, we are Tinik Hanishba. How come? Oh, you didn't know about the Torah? Never. You didn't know this, there is a place called synagogue? Very interesting, right? So to play this card, it's not going to play very good for them. All right, so let's continue. So we are in the middle of Melach of sifting. And before sifting, we learned about winnowing. So winnowing and sifting kind of similar melachas, right? So in one and another, there's separation. And we say separation from something that we want, from something that we don't want. Or something that we don't want, from something that we want. Okay. And then we started, and I'm going to go a little back to the page 311, and the topic is straining liquids. So we spoke about it, but I want to go in details one more time. I mean, we just started. Okay. So straining liquids, number 4. Straining liquids to prepare them for drinking. Straining liquids in preparation for drinking them is generally forbidden under milach of sifting. So sifting meaning that you want to screen something that you don't want, right? However, the halacha varies according to extent of the impurity as follows. Okay, so it's very dory or mildly dory. Is it drinkable, not drinkable, and stuff like that. So number 1, liquids that are almost entirely pure. So of course, if they're entirely pure, you don't need any filtering, right? So we're talking about almost entirely pure. Okay, a liquid whose impurities are so minimal that most people will drink it, despite the impurities, may be filtered on Shabbos. Since the impurities do not affect consumption of the liquid, they and of the liquid are not regarded two separate elements of the mixture. Okay, so first of all, we say that this melach applies where it's the mixture. Something is mixed together, and you want to separate things. Okay, rather the impurities are deemed to be part of the liquid. Therefore, their removal does not constitute the act of sifting. Right? In this case, one may perform filtering even with utensils specifically made for this purpose. That is to say, he need not use a makeshift filter, such as a cloth or garment, see below, we're going to discuss. Accordingly, one may filter tap water with specifically made device attached to the faucet. So, as we said last time, if it's not the water is not very dirty, it's not dirty, like they don't have like all of these impurities. So you can use the regular filter. Commentary. Note, if the liquid being filtered is water, one may not use a garment or handkerchief or a new piece of cloth as a filter. So as we said before, so it's going to be 100% laundry. This is because the placing water upon these items on Shabbos violates the prohibition against laundering on Shabbos. If one wishes to use a cloth or to filter water, one may use only old piece of cloth, right? Something that he does not care to throw out, meaning he does not care to wash it. Right? However, if the items mentioned above were designated for use as a filter, they may be used even with water. So maybe you say this piece of, I don't know, my old T-shirt is going to be filtered. Okay, no problem. Before Shabbos, just last sentence series. The filtering of other beverages, for example, wine, may be performed with any sort of cloth because, as we said before, it's not laundering, it's ruining, right? You stain it. Yes, go ahead.
What's it called? So once again, just to clarify, it has to be set up for its main purpose before Shabbos, correct?
Okay, yes, okay, go ahead.
Okay. And what's it called? Number 2, just asking, is it okay if, for example, that thing, let's say you soak water, right? Let's say with that cloth or whatever on Shabbos, okay? But does it still count as a malacha if afterwards you put it in the laundry or whatever, in the laundry basket? Because you didn't use it to clean, you're obviously going to clean it one more time.
No, but we said that the soaking in water is one of the it's one of the 4 steps of laundering. So we said even when one violate one step, it's already like it's an issue. But in this case, in the case of the filter, you don't care about washing this piece of cloth. You just use it for something else.
Understood. So one more thing, very, very quickly about laundering. This is very big about laundering. So we say that soaking is a problem when you put your finger on it and the moisture goes somewhere else, right? So my question is like this: I can touch anything, mamish, I don't know, and it feels like I don't think there's any moisture that goes from the finger to anything else, right? There's almost never.
No, I don't say almost never. If you spill water on a table and then touch the spill and you touch the dry spot on the table, it's going to get wet.
No, I completely agree. When I say almost never, I'm talking about, for example, clothes or something like that, right?
Okay, exactly, yeah. It's if with the word is damp, if a little damp, so of course yes, it's not going to transfer. Most likely, unless you press it. You're right, 100%. Yes, soaking meaning it has water like inside, like I don't like you have this spill of water, you spill seltzer by accident, right? So you put few napkins and you see you pick up the napkins by the dry side and it's very heavy. It's saturated with water.
Understood. Okay.
So that's the issue. Okay, so you're right. Everything has its own parameters. Okay. So continue. This rule applies to everyone, but the sensitive individual who cannot tolerate any impurities, this as we call it, finicky person, right? The word is finicky. Impurities. This sort of person may not filter even this essentially pure liquid on Shabbos, since the minor impurities prevent him from drinking the liquid. They are not regarded as a part of the liquid as far as he concerns. Therefore, the removal constitutes the act of straining. Therefore, others too are forbidden from using a filter for the benefit of this individual. So, I mean, that's very strong concept. It's one of the many that we're going to see, especially. I think I just thought about it. So we're going to see a lot of this in the case of the blessing on our Friday class. So many things would be would depend on personal priorities or whatever he likes. Even though, like it says, halacha is like this, but if he was, I don't know, he was craving this specific food and all others, it's like extra. So that's what he should use, right? As a first bracha, let's say. Okay. So one more time for this guy who is very picky. So this water is not good, basically. So without filters, he's not going to drink. Okay. I think this is clear. Israel, you good? We don't see you, but
yes.
Okay, so you understand what we're talking about, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, continue. So number 2, liquids that are only moderately impure. If level of impurity in the liquid is not high enough to render it undrinkable, but it is high enough to prevent most people from drinking it under the normal circumstances, one is forbidden by rabbinic law to filter the liquids through the specifically made filter on Shabbos. So now we're talking about different case. So if under normal, so if you have different water, so some people drink only like spring water, some bottled water, right? They would not drink other water, right? But in a present circumstances, like I remember in the office where I used to work, so sometimes we have this like water cooler, right? And then they have a special filter, very expensive. Like I think the filter itself like $100 worth. Of course, it's for commercial use and stuff like that. Okay, the guy would come from every month. I don't know, like would change the filter stuff. But sometimes I don't know what happened to the filter and stopped working. So people would drink it. I mean, everybody would switch to tea. They would boil water. I mean, or would buy water, right? But they would switch and they would agree to drink some other water beside this. Some would drink from tap water. Even I saw it, tap water. No problem. Okay, I don't know if it's the healthiest way, but basically under the pressure. So in this case, so they say this: if under normal circumstances they would not drink this kind of water, right? So you cannot use regular filter on showers, only makeshift, some like not regular, piece of cloth. Yeah, go ahead. Any question?
So when most people aren't able to drink something, right?
It's not able. They don't want to. If they have different choice, I mean, like unless they're pressed, like I give you example, like people come and they we ran out of coffee, so they won't drink tea or I don't know whatever they're going to drink, but they prefer coffee. So if there is coffee, they're never going to drink tea. And so maybe it's a good example. But here, because of the impurities, yeah, go ahead.
I think my question still stands because my question is, people, if most people wouldn't drink something, right? Why at that point does it not count as something detestable? Because there's a certain
No, for them it's not good.
Exactly. My point is like this: when it's a community, right? If we're going by the community, and for you, for example, some stuff isn't disgusting, right? But for the community, for the majority, it is, right? So why doesn't this count as going against the avera of doing something disgusting? Sorry for interrupting.
Could you repeat your question? Maybe say it a different way. Maybe because I don't.
There's mitzvah in the Torah not to do something. For example, not to eat something, right? That's detestable. That's that most people.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I'm saying, why doesn't that also count in this scenario? Most people won't drink this, right?
It's not detestable to them. They you see when they say detestable, I saw detestable. I smelled detestable food. In a place where I work, there were many Chinese people, and they may be high IT professionals, but they would eat. I asked. I was like suffocated. So I asked guy. So what is it? What are you cooking there? And it was jellyfish. So you want to try? So no, I don't want to. Please. I'm good. I don't want to try. But I said, but smell. I said, smells very strange. She said, no, it's good. It's fresh. That's how fresh. He said, were you here last week? I saw, yes. The guy who brought the jellyfish, it was not fresh. That's what terrible smell. So I cannot even imagine how that's jellyfish. So this is disgusting. But we're talking, for example, in this case about water. So in water, like you don't see like it's impurities, like it's like you in Amazon River and you take like this muggy water. It's not. You understand? You don't see, but it's not filtered basically. I don't know if it's same taste for me. It's almost the same taste. Okay, got it. Continue. Okay, so now we say that one more time the sentence. If the level of impurities in the liquid is not high enough to render undrinkable, so people would still drink it, right? But high enough to prevent most of the people from drinking under normal circumstances. Meaning, if they have a choice, they might not drink. One is forbidden by rabbinic law to filter the liquid through a specifically made filter on showers. Poskim disagree, however, as to whether it is permissible to filter liquid of this quality through the makeshift filter, such as the cloth or the article of clothing. So maybe I want to use my old, is this a t-shirt, right? undershort. Some poskim hold that one is permitted to strain this sort of liquid through the makeshift filter on Shabbos, provided, however, that A, liquid is intended for immediate use, right? So that's we're going to discuss this concept when we're going to discuss the laws in the kitchen, right? Laws of Shabbos kitchen. So for immediate use. So just remember this thing for immediate use. And B, filtering is performed in unusual manner with the shinoi. Other poskim maintain that even this is forbidden. Okay, so here's the thing. So we can always, if there is such opinion, and we are under these difficult circumstances, basically there is no choice. And the filter stopped this, whatever the thing is, right? So, and it's dirty water or there's impurity, whatever. So, I mean, if it's dirty, it's not allowed. It's not allowed to filter, right? Because otherwise they're not going to do it. So it's moderately dirty. So they say what to do. You can use like let's say your old shirt, or I don't know, maybe paper towel. I don't think like cheesecloth. Not cheesecloth. Maybe not, because it is filtered itself. Basically, some piece of clothing, like old rag, whatever, something, right? And in unusual manner. So in unusual manner, like not what people usually do. So we're going to see example of what is not unusual manner. Right? Shinoi is so basically shinoi. If you, as we learn in halachas of writing, right? So if you usually write with your right hand, so shinoi would be with your left, or with your teeth, or well, yeah. Go ahead.
So just to be clear, you're allowed to do it the rabbanon if it's in an unusual way.
Only when they allow to do that.
Only when they're allowed to do that. What does that mean?
Yes. Yeah. If they even, or only if Rabbonim, our Rabbeim, allowed us to do this under circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, they're the ones who they're the ones who forbid us to do things, and they are only the ones who can permit us to do certain things under certain circumstances. But of course, it has to be like as little desecration as possible, even rabbinical. So they say what for immediate use. So you're not planning to keep like for your next meal. No, only for now. I want only for now. That's one leniency that allows. And second, in not normal manner, not regular manner. And these two combinations going to be used a lot in the Shabbos kitchen and even in this book. So we're going to see. Okay, continue. Generally, it is best to follow the most stringent opinion to this manner. Of course, if you can, basically do not filter. So if it's under this condition, do not filter at all, and basically don't drink, or drink as it is. However, where the real need, one may rely on a lenient opinion. So all of the lenient opinions that we go through, they're actually allowed to follow. So one more time, under the sort of circumstance where you don't have a choice. Okay. Where one does not follow the lenient view, he complies with the requirement of perform the filtering in an unusual manner, employing the following modification. One more time, when one does not follow the lenient view meaning this makeshift filter, right? He complies with the requirement to perform the filtering in unusual manner, employing the following modification. So now they're going in details how to do that. Ordinarily, a person straining liquid place the filtering cloth over the mouth of the vessel and press down in the center of the cloth to form an indentation. So just to make maybe to show a napkin here. So basically, he's a vessel. You close and you put like some kind of indentation, like so it would hold like a hole. So it would hold some liquid. You understand? And then they start pouring. That's how you make filter. That's like you're trying to emulate funnel. You know what funnel is? Or you pour liquid in the bottles. Okay. Okay. So one more time. Ordinary person straining liquids, place the filtering cloth over the mouth of the vessel where you planning to pour the liquid, and press down the center of the cloth to form indentation. He then poured the liquid into indentation, and it slowly trickles through the cloth into the vessel, meaning that all the impurities stay on this filter. In our case, the cloth must be left lying flat up on the receptacle. So that's now how we do it. So they say laying flat. So basically, you can spill. You have to be very careful and do it very, very slow. Otherwise, because of this resistance, right, of this piece, the cloth, so the liquid is not going to go as fast as without it. It's understandable, right? So you have to go very, very slow, pour very slow. One may not press down upon it to form indentation before pouring the liquid. However, if after he begins pouring, the flow of the liquid causes an indentation to form, it is permissible. So I mean, I think it's a brilliant idea. So basically, you keep it flat. You keep this. So you keep it flat, right, on your vessel, and then you start pouring. Of course, the liquid has its weight, and it's going to create some indentation. So just leave it there. Just hold it in place. So it's not you. So basically, it was done indirectly, not through you, but indirectly.
Right.
Yes.
Does it count as a not usual way? For example, there's some Brita filters where you pour water inside, right? Then it's just like a cup. You drink it, right?
No. That's a usual way. It is usual. So we say like unusual. So you have this old T-shirt, undershirt, old one. I mean, but so you pour on top of your cup, let's say, and you pour from the faucet or from wherever you have this water with impurities through this filter, basically. So I mean, since it was not designed for that, it's going to filter very good. I don't think just because it's an old T-shirt, it's not good. No, it's actually very good, right? So it's going to make an indentation and hold the water, and basically we continue. Number 3, liquids that are exceedingly impure. So now here we go. If level of impurities in the liquid is so high that it is undrinkable, one is forbidden under all circumstances to filter the liquid on Shabbos, even if it is intended for immediate use. That's it. I mean, the halacha is very clear. If one filters this liquid with a specifically made utensil, or if he filters it even with makeshift filter, but does not intend it to be used immediately, he violates biblical melach of sifting. Let me read it one more time, and we're going to explain. If one filters this liquid, so which is undrinkable, right, with a specifically made utensil, so as you said, this I know where you would do this plastic one. You put some water and it drips like slowly. It's like filtering. Okay, some fancy. Okay, specifically made utensil, or if he filters it when even with a makeshift filter, right? So makeshift filter, maybe is this piece of cloth, but does not intend it to use immediately. So all of 3 circumstances, he has violated the biblical melach of sifting. If, however, he filters the liquid with a makeshift filter for immediate use, he has violated only rabbinic prohibition. So you see, if it's for immediate use, it's rabbinically, and not for immediate use is biblical prohibition. So it's a chorus, right, as we say. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Why doesn't this count as
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Why does this not count like it looks like I'm talking about doing it in unordinary fashion, let's say with a shirt or something, right? Why does it not count like a weekday activity, looking like a weekday activity, and taking away from the aura of Shabbos?
No, weekday, when we're saying the term weekday activity is something that is permissible to begin with.
But this is permissible. Oh,
No, it's not permissible. You're not sifting, as we said, it was done to separate impurities from the flour, from the herbs. That's how it was used. So you cannot make. They were making all of these dyes, right? To dye in red and other colors. So when we have this dye, you cannot have all of these impurities. You understand? You need only the tiniest, like powder of this.
I agree. Sorry. I agree, but for example, those two instances where the rabbi said you're allowed, right? You're allowed to filter, okay?
Yeah, but there it was allowed. Why? Because under the pressure, people will drink.
Mm-hmm.
But here it is so disgusting. It's like you got it from the parlor. So you went outside and you got it from the parlor and see who wants it. Like,
understood.
Nobody wants it. But basically, if you filter through this filter, it's not so bad. It's a rainbow. Maybe it was not so dirty and stuff like that. Maybe some people are going to drink. Understand? That's but what for just for our understanding, weekday activity. I give you example of weekday activity. So weekday activity would be if you want to have I don't know, your bed, right, which is heavy, let's say, it's like wood bed, right? Very heavy bed to carry from one floor to another, right, in the house. I mean, it's the bed is never moved, so because it's used for Shabbos purposes, but since it's heavy and you exert a lot of energy, so it's like weekday activity, it's prohibited. You understand? So technically it is allowed, but we say don't do it because you use too much strength and waste your time basically. Okay, so it's not as here's a different story. B, straining liquids while in the process of drinking. Very interesting. So let's see. The prohibition against filtering liquids applies only while the purpose of the filtering is to perfect the liquid in preparation for drinking. One is permitted, however, to filter any liquid during the process of drinking it. Let's see. What does it mean? Hence, one drinking from cup may place a cloth over its mouth to ensure that the impurities of the liquid will remain in the cup. Similarly, one may drink from the cup whose mouthpiece has small holes and act as a strainer. So I'm not sure if I have seen this kind of cups, but I mean they say if you put some piece of cloth over the mouth of the cup, let's say there is tea leaves, tiny tea leaves, I don't know, whatever. So if you don't want to drink this tea leaves, so you're allowed to put some piece of cloth and you can drink it like this, right? So commentaries say when filtering the water, one should use cloth that is designated for the strain. So and as not to run to a flout of the prohibition against laundry in the Shabbat. So they say it's very interesting. So with tea you can use whatever you want to use, but with the water, when you want to drink the water like this, you can put a cheesecloth on top of the cup. So they say it's better. Why? Because that's I mean, even though people wash laundry cheesecloth, but basically it was designed to be for a filter, so it's better to use that one. So it's not going to look like your laundry.
Right. So with these types of things, that while you drink it filters, there's never ever a derisa with it.
No.
Even a derabanan. Never. Understood.
No.
Okay.
So I'm trying to think why not. There, like it's two-step process. So you prepare, and then you use. But here it's like one step. You understand? You drink it, and in the same second you filter it. Okay. So now practical applications, right? Permissible acts of straining. Okay. A, straining large items from the liquid. The melach of sifting does not apply to large solid object that are mixed into the liquid, because these objects are clearly visible and distinct in the water, and they are not halachically regarded as mixed with the water. Because there is no mixture, there can be no prohibition of sifting. Therefore, one is permissible to pour or drink, to be permitted to pour a drink containing sliced lemon from a pitcher whose spout prevents the lemon slices from escaping. So, and you have these pitchers like the mouth, like what is it called? This not the nozzle, like end of the pitcher. What do you call it? When it's like bent inside. You know what I'm talking about? No. So there is a pitcher. Sorry. Okay. So there is the pitchers, and they put ice in there. So of course they want to keep ice in a pitcher, not splashing your cup. So they have like end of the nozzle of this pitcher that they like bent, and they would let only water through, right, and leave what is it, lemon and ice back, right? So basically, it's not mixture. It's never mixture. So you clearly see this is water, this is ice, this is lemon. I mean, they never mix. So it's like you have a piece of meat in your soup. This piece of meat it's not mixed with the soup. I mean, it's about dish, correct? I agree 100%, but it's never a mixture. Okay, and we're going to use all of this knowledge actually in our laws of halachas, right? In the class of halachas. Okay, 1 second, what happened? Okay. Straining two waste items. Somebody wants to ask a question?
I have something. I'm trying to apply where or when you have to take into account the filtering. What about coffee with a coffee filter?
Coffee through the coffee filter. Okay, so what about it? Explain.
So if I want to prepare coffee on Shabbos with
no, we don't make coffee like this on Shabbos.
For them,
are we allowed to cook coffee on Shabbos? I don't think so. So what we do instant coffee. Instant coffee, you just put
yes. I read something about the tea leaves being cooked if you put hot water on them.
That's the big difference between Sephardic and Ashkenazi.
But so Sephardim are also forbidden to make coffee with a filter.
You see, the problem is what you're talking about. This making coffee with the filter. The way I understand, maybe I'm a mistake, but I think that the beans are raw in there. They're not cooked in this filter. It's a raw coffee. That's why you need such a hot water. You understand? So we're not allowed to cook. That's everybody. Really, you're not allowed to cook on Shabbos. And for this coffee, you need very hot water, right? But this instant coffee. So how do they make instant coffee? Just in like summary, they what is it? They cook these beans, whatever they do, right? and then they freeze it. And after freezing, they go, you get all the granules. So this pieces that we use, it's actually they consider halachically liquid that was actually cooked, right?
So in the end, what would be often a frequent example of when you have to take care of filtering beyond the water, beyond drinking?
If you give me a little more, it's actually in a 6 sentences below, in that same page. We're going to start practical application. So let's have it's 6 sentences. Okay, so one more time. B, straining 2 waste items. The prohibition of sifting does not apply where both elements will be discarded. For example, one may pour a mixture of solid and liquid down the drain. Okay. Even though the solids will be caught by the strainer or in the drain. Since everything is being discarded anyway, this is not considered an act of selection. So I think it's a perfect example. Right? You have whatever you left over, I don't know, some from some pickled food, right? Or you have the pickles, right? And you finish pickles, and you want to pour the thing, this water in what they were pickled, and there are always some like pieces of like garlic or other things. So you can pour it into your into the drain, even though the pieces of garlic and other like spices are going to get stuck right in your strainer, right? But the liquid is going to go through. So since you do not care, you just want to discard both of them. There is no problem. Okay, now we got to practical applications. Okay. Yes.
Why? So we say, just to be clear, we say it's allowed because you don't want either one of them, correct?
Exactly.
Why don't we say that it's allowed because the pieces are big? Because we could see the pieces and they're not going to.
We don't need them. So the definition of melacha is you want one, but you don't want another. So if you don't want both of them, it's not you're not trying to separate. You do the act that you normally do, right? You pour it into the sink, and there is a strainer. You didn't put the strainer just right now. It is always there. So and they strain the big pieces. They got stuck, and they let the liquid through.
Understood.
Understand? So, okay. So let's go practical applications, and I think it's we're going to understand this melacha better. Sifting sugar, salt, or flour. One is forbidden to sift salt, flour, or confectionery sugar. Confectionery is like you know what confectionery sugar is? We just bought recently. It's like sugar powder. So they do pastries and like put on top. So I like white. Okay, confectionery sugar. On Shabbos, in order to remove the clumps. So I mean, so it would be more presentable. So without clumps, so basically maybe because it was humid or whatever it was. Right? Similarly, one is forbidden to sift matzah meal in order to remove pieces of matzah. Okay, as we said before, so because they're considered to be mixed. So basically, you want big pieces, but you don't want tiny pieces. So that's so for you, it is mixture basically.
Okay, Rabbi, just to be clear, so for these 3 things, for the flour and the sugar and so on and so forth, it's allowed?
No, it's not allowed.
Oh, it's not allowed. Okay.
Not allowed. It says one is forbidden to sift flour. So that's, you see, these 3 things that very like flour itself or herbs that they grind. Right. So okay. So that's okay. And the next one is exactly what our friend was asking us: tea and coffee. According to some authorities, a tea kettle and coffee pot with a strainer in the spout is considered to be a utensil specifically made for the straining. That's a big deal. Therefore, if the pot contains tea leaves or coffee grounds, the law is as follows. So if you have a teapot for tea essence, right? I don't know, you know what I'm talking about, like pot. People used to do it. Now everybody using like or the tea bags, but we rarely use tea bags. My wife likes to make like real tea, and she would mix all of these teas, and it's unbelievable. Smells good and tasty and stuff like that. But
I know
yeah.
tea. I used to prepare in the past tea like in the same way, almost the same way, like coffee with a filter. I don't know if you're talking about this.
No,
instead of tea bags.
I'm talking about in this teapot, right? The teapot where we put like let's say you put these tea leaves, and then you put the hot water, you pour hot water, and then you close for 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever, for some period of time. So it's getting ready. So if you look inside, if you remove this this cup, right, from the teapot, and you see in this nose of this teapot, right, of this thing, that sometimes it's closed, completely closed, and there are like small what is it, holes. Why? So they try to filter, what is it, the tea leaves, so the leaves would not leave. So what we did, so we used to have this pot, we got rid of it, but what we did, we bought these metal things, like metal balls, right? And you put all of this, whatever, these tea leaves in a metal balls, you close them as like a clip, you leave them in a teapot, there is no problem. And then we have this teapot without any filters, basically. So this is like a filter, but it's almost always submerged in the water. So let's see. So one more time. Tea and coffee. According to some authorities, tea kettle and coffee pot. So not everybody agree, but okay. With a strainer, some kind of strainer, in its spout. So okay, that is I said no, so its spout, right, is considered to be a utensil specifically made for straining. So according to some people, that's problem. Okay, therefore, if a pot contains tea leaves or coffee grounds, the law is as follows. If the leaves of the ground or the grounds have settled on the bottom of the pot, they are not considered to be mixed with a clear liquid on top. Therefore, one may pour out the liquid until the leaf is close to the level of the ground. So basically, if you have some kind of filter, so that's exactly what I said. If this filter is submerged, there is no problem whatsoever. Or for example, you don't have these filters at all. You just have tea leaves on the bottom. So while they're on the bottom, they're not mixed. You understand? You just pour the tea or you pour coffee, and without shaking the vessel, there is no problem. Okay, continue. Beyond this point, one may not continue to pour in. Otherwise, these tea leaves are going to get stuck in this spout, right? Since the liquid on the bottom of the pot is mixed with the leaves on the ground or in the ground, pouring out the liquid is considered acts of straining with a specifically made utensil, which is forbidden. So until it's the level of the liquid is higher than the leaves, it's never mixed. But once it gets closer, so now it is mixed, and leaves that try to escape into your cup, and through these holes they are prevented. So it's like a filter, and that's why it is forbidden. If the leaves or the grounds are completely mixed with the liquid, so I'm not sure. Unless you shake it, that they should be on the bottom, or it's like freshly made leaves, freshly made tea. One may not pour out any liquid at all. So if it's mixed, for it is forbidden to use specifically made utensil to filter the mixture. But as we said, if you let it stay for some time, like 1 hour, it's going to go down. All of them are going to go down.
Here, I have a question.
Yes.
Why did you say that those what's it called, those balls that you put the leaves into, why did you say that they're okay?
Because they're submerged.
But let's say you pour out all the tea, they're no longer submerged.
Oh, that's exactly. That's the issue.
Okay, but usually if you fill it up, right? If you fill it up, water's boiling, whatever, right? So you can use it to a certain extent on Shabbos.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
Understood. But I mean, they usually don't drink that much because it's so strong. So you mix with the hot water because the tea essence there is cold. You understand? It's very concentrated, but it is cold. So you have to mix it with the regular water. That's the old way of doing tea, right? Okay, so continue. However, other authorities maintain that the tea kettle and coffee maker is not halakhically regarded as utensil specifically made for the straining, but these metal balls are for sure for straining, right? Therefore, even if the liquid is completely mixed with the tea leaves or coffee grounds, one is permitted to use the pot to strain it on Shabbos, provided one intends to use it for liquid immediately. It is best, if possible, to follow stringent view in this case. So as usual, so try to follow this stringent view, but we're talking about, one more time, about the holes in a spout of the tea kettle or the coffee maker, not about the balls that I said, these metal balls that are 100% filtered. So if the liquid goes down certain extent, you're not allowed to use it.
Right. When do we know if something is made for something? For example, let's say a boy, right? I don't know, a father made some toys, some balls or whatever for his kid. Okay. Now, later on, this father realizes, wait, these balls are good for what? For putting the leaves into the teapot, so on and so forth, right? So my question is, so over here, all that matters is the intent or no?
Intent, yes.
So let's say that's the intention why he made it, right? So no matter how long he uses these balls for in the teapot, they're always going to count as unusual, correct? As in unusual.
No. If he said, you know what, from now on, I'm going to use it for this specific use. So it's became, and especially if it works very well. So it's specifically like so it's a specific instrument. But if we're talking about the makeshift filter, when you make an indentation, you don't make an indentation, and it pours all over, and unless you're very good with your hands, I mean, it's for sure. It's every time it's new experience. You understand? So it's like one of the things. Don't try it at home, and we're going to learn. Some people like they have two left hands, and they try to open this like a soda bottle, right? Because we say that there's a ring that attached to the bottle, the cup, and we try and do not break, and some people they try to, like, with a fork, means with two left hands, like you normal with a knife, you're going to like poke your eye out. Understand? So don't do it at home, basically. Okay, continue. Maybe one more and we stop. Pulp in orange juice. That's also very popular, right? Pulp in orange juice. Since pulp is a natural component of the orange juice, the pulp and the juice are not regarded as separate elements of the mixture. Therefore, one is permitted to skim pulp from juice with a strainer on Shabbos. Okay. However, however, for a person who is too sensitive to drink anything but a clear juice, the pulp is regarded as waste, 100%. So for him, it is waste. Therefore, this person may not remove the pulp on Shabbos. So for him, it is waste. For me, it's not waste. I mean, I can drink like this, like that. So, but if today I prefer like without pulp, they're too big, they're too less. So that's a different story. Okay, so we can stop here. So we're in the middle of the practical application. To be continued. I don't want to. Go ahead. Any questions? No? Okay.
I still have doubt about how in the Ashkenazi custom they breakfast
Breakfast when? What do you mean?
on Shabbos.
The answer is that there is no breakfast on Shabbos. It's very simple.
Oh,
So yes, so we learn in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch that you're not allowed to eat before you pray. So it says, do not. What is it? Over the blood. I don't remember the first part of the sentence. So basically, from this verse, our sages learn: do not eat over the blood. I think something like that. So from this, our sages learn: so you're not allowed to eat until you pray. So and by the time if you normal start like in a place where I go, they start at 8:45, right? So by the time you come home, it's like 11:30. So it's not breakfast. So we call it lunch.
oh,
You understand? So some people, if he is like weak and stuff like that, so yeah, they're allowed to eat. Some people who needs coffee, tea, whatever, they're allowed to drink. But we're trying to basically not to eat unless it's very necessary. Unless so we don't eat.
so to make it more clear, how do they have tea?
Tea, yeah. So tea,
The tea time, the tea hour, how?
Okay, so tea exactly as I said. So we prepare tea essence. So you put these leaves, right, or in a teapot, or you put tea bags, whatever, it doesn't matter. So and you pour hot water before Shabbos, so it stays there, and then the tea essence is like very concentrated, right? Very like you put a little like this much, I say in your cup, and the rest you put with the hot water, and then you have tea. Because they say, I'm going to explain myself. So because other people are watching, maybe it's the last video they're going to watch. So because we say that tea leaves are going to be cooked in any utensil, if the temperature of the water is above Yad Salada's board that you have this recoil if you touch. So we say, it's stringent opinion that even in a tense vessel, doesn't matter how many vessels you transfer the water, it's going to cook. So Sephardi go by a more lenient opinion, right? So they say in a third vessel, it's never going to cook. So there is such opinion, but Ashkenazim don't go by that. In some cases they do, in some cases they don't. So in a liquid, especially about tea leaves, they say it's very, very easily to cook them. So we don't go even in tens and hundreds vessels. So that's why Sephardic people would put the tea bag in a third vessel, meaning you have like a water urn, like some it's a first vessel where it was cooked.
Yeah.
Then you pour in one cup, so it's a second vessel, and then from that cup you pour in a third cup. So in the tertiary vessel, they say that they can cook, and that's how we make coffee. Basically, we also make coffee and tea. There is no problem with instant coffee in tea and sugar. I'm sorry, and sugar. I'm sorry, I meant sugar. Why? Because they were cooked before. So they were cooked before, and you put there is no problem.
So basically, in the Ashkenazi custom, everything is prepared before Shabbos.
Almost everything. So, for example, you can make a salad. You can make a fresh. You can take cucumbers, tomatoes, and cut, or you can cut. I don't know, whatever pieces of meat, whatever you need, you can cut. But all other things, yes. I mean, you have more time on Shabbos, so you enjoy Shabbos basically.
So finally, the last question is, or the last commentary is, so Sephardim are, in the other hand, allowed to make coffee on Shabbos?
I'm not sure about that. This coffee that you're mentioning, this filter. I'm not sure. This what is it? This instant coffee, it's already cooked. You're not allowed to cook on Shabbos, and under any opinion. There's no leniency about cooking in Shabbat. So when you have, I think that's I don't drink this kind of coffee, right? I like this filter, but the way I understand it's a raw beans. So if they just ground the raw beans, they were never cooked. With hot water, they're going to cook, and that's it. That's a prohibition, 100%. Okay, or go ahead.
You just answered my question.
About what was about this filter of coffee?
Yeah,
filter
instant coffee.
or instant coffee. So okay, so one more time in the third vessel. So some people say, okay, so I'm going to give you a little more lenient opinion, and that's what some people do. So they say since the coffee and sugar were already cooked, okay, so they say there is no problem even to use them in the first vessel, in a second vessel. So from urn they pour water in a cup, and then they reverse the order. That's what we call shinoi, and put the sugar and coffee in the first cup. I mean, we don't do that. We do everything in a third cup.
Okay.
So I mean, trying to go according to all of the opinions, so everybody would agree that's the safest way, basically. Yes, David, go ahead.
What's it called? I'll tell you my question that I asked on WhatsApp so that you can answer it now.
Okay.
With Psukei Tezerma, with Yishtabach and Baruch Shamar, okay? My question is like this. For Bracha Rishon and Bracha Achrona, for example, two different mitzvahs, right? So my question is, in regards to Baruch Shamar and Yishtabach, are they two separate mitzvahs or are they one whole mitzvah?
No. It's like beginning of the blessing and the end of the blessing.
So let's say, okay, I'll give you this example. Let's say you don't say Baruch Shamar. Let's say you forget about it, right? But you say Yishtabach. Does it count? Does all of Yishtabach count as saying Hashem's name in vain or no?
No.
But so you still get it. So it's some type of mitzvah, even though you didn't say
exactly.
Understood. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Any topic? Okay. So let's stop here. Let me stop recording. So until 1 second, let me stop.
אני מברך את הרבנים, רגע. אני מברך את הרבנים, הרב ירון ראובן, הרב אפרים כחלון, ראשי ארגון בעזרת השם, שהלכו בפי עליון, שעלו מעלה, יהיה להם ברכה והצלחה, הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא בישועות ליבם לטובה ולברכה, שבכל מה שיפנו ישכילו ויצליחו, יזכו עוד לעשות כאלה וכאלה, הודיעו תורה לאדירה, אמן ואמן.
בעזרת השם רשת בכל הארץ. הוא היהודי הזה, הוא היה מיליונר, סגר את כל הביזנס, אמר אני משקיע פה בעולמה של תורה. איפה הוא גר? בפלורידה. איפה זה פלורידה? באמריקה. באמריקה. כן, ליד. אנחנו שם עכשיו הולכים להקים קהילה ספרדית. קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
תעבירו מה שבירכתי אותו.
כן, קהילה ספרדית גדולה.